Hello anime fans, JapanAnimeHub here. We're here to introduce you to all the new fall season anime with videos. Join us in checking out this season's titles. It's going to be a long fight because there are 85 films in total lol. You can skip around and watch it all the way to the end. If you like the videos, please subscribe and like our channel. Let's get started. Arknights perish in frost. It is an incurable disease that gradually crystallizes people's bodies and leads to death. The pharmaceutical company Rhodes Island is researching a cure for the disease and working to solve all the problems it causes. In order to stop the uprising of the Reunion Movement, a terrorist organization that claims to help the infected, Lodos has made a contract with the city of Ryumon in the Land of Fire and continues its activities. After the battle with Skull Shredder, Amaya is alone in her grief, unable to accept the fact that she could not save Misha. Meanwhile, Rhodes discovered an abandoned city on the outskirts of Ryumon and sent a scouting party there. There, they notice a strange phenomenon. Idolmaster Million Live. What is a dream? Mirai Kasuga, a second-year junior high school student who spends her busy days in school, still does not know what her dream is. Mirai receives a ticket to the 765 Pro All-Stars Live by chance and meets Shizuka Magami, also in the second year of junior high school, at the event. Shizuka has longed to be an idol since she was a child. In the audience is Tsubasa Ibuki. As the three look on, the curtain rises on the stage. Akuma-kun. The Millennium Institute is a consulting center where strange requests come in. The owner of the institute, Ichiro Buragi-kun, aka Akuma-kun, is a boy genius who will only be discovered once every 10,000 years. However, he does not know his real family. The Akuma-kun and his partner, Mephistopheles III, are a bizarre detective buddy story, pursuing the mystery of their origins while taking on mysterious cases. Atarashi Joshi wa Do Tennen. The popular work is currently being serialized in Manga Cross and has sold over 500,000 copies of comics, the long-awaited TV anime adaptation of the healing work comedy. Momo's spirit and stomach were damaged by his boss's power harassment, so he changed his job to a sales representative at an advertising agency. However, due to past traumas, she is unable to move due to stomach pains early on her first day, wondering what if my new boss is also a power harasser. At that time, her new boss, Shirasaki, who was on an outing with her, takes the following action. You will be healed by the unexpected naturalness of your boss. Ansem Stars, Reminiscence Selection Crossroads. The Ansem Stars new anime project. Ansem Stars is a social game provided by Happy Elements and Kakaria Studio. Following Reminiscence Selection Element, distributed in April 2023, Reminiscence Selection Crossroads will be broadcast in November. Under Ninja. The once flourishing Japanese ninja were forced to dismantle their organization by GHQ after the war and disappeared. In fact, however, ninja still exist in secret, and their number is said to be as many as 200,000. Some elite ninja were active behind the scenes in conflicts at the national level. On the other hand, the ninja at the end of the line are often unable to find work, and one such ninja, Kuro Kumogakyur, was living as if he were a NEET. However, Kuro finally received an important ninja mission. Undead Unluck. It's coming. Bad luck. Great. Keisuko is an unlucky girl who brings unfortunate accidents to people she touches. She is prepared to die because of her peculiar constitution, but Andy, an undead with an immortal body who can never die, appears in front of her. He decides to work with her to achieve true death through Kazuko's power. However, a mysterious organization called the Union appears in front of them, which is targeting deniers with unusual powers like Andy and Keisuko. This is a story of two people finding the best death. Uma Masumi Pretty Derby Season 3. This is the story of Uma Masumi, a girl with a brilliant name and soul inherited from another world. Katasan Black, who as a child witnessed the miracle of Tokai Tio and wishes to jump into that sparkling scene himself. Satono Diamond, who is right beside his childhood friend, cheering her on as she struggles to fulfill her own mission. With powerful rivals and an irresistible destiny standing in his way, Katasan Black now runs toward his dream, backed by the words of his friends who believe in him and the cheers of the people. MF Ghost. The year is 202 XAD in the future from Initial D. Japan, where self-driving cars have become widespread. In such an era, an automobile race is held on public roads. The name of the race, which is popular all over the world, is MFG, and the fastest cars such as Porsche, Ferrari, and Lamborghini are competing one after another. Meanwhile, Kanata Rivington, a driver who graduated from a racing school in England, returns to Japan to fulfill a certain goal. Overtake. F4, or Formula 4, is the entry-level category of Formula car racing, with F1 at its pinnacle, and has produced outstanding young drivers for the advanced category. Since the inception of the series, it has served as the Koshin of motorsports. One man has set foot on this circuit. His name is Takaya Manga. He is a photographer, but for one reason or another, he is currently in a slump. At the Fuji Speedway, where he is visiting for an interview, Takaya witnesses the driving of Yu Asahina, a high school student F4 racer. His honest dedication to the point of stupidity brings back to his own heart a beat that he hasn't felt in a long time. With this, he and his small team, Kamaka Motors, decide to support Yu and make his dream come true. At some point, the lives of Yu and Takaya, who are completely different in character and age, begin to intersect with each other. A girl and her guard dog. Kazusaki Senagaki, 15, is the granddaughter of the third-generation Senagaki clan leader. In high school, she wants to make ordinary friends and fall in love in an ordinary way. She enrolls in a high school far from her hometown. But the overprotective young boss, Kei Yuto, 26, falsifies her age and enrolls her in Isaki's high school through the back door. Kei is determined to keep men away from Isaki, claiming that love is too young for Isaki-san. But in fact, Isaki has had a crush on Kei for a long time. Ochibi-zun. An animated television adaptation of Moyoko Anno's manga Ochibi-zun will begin airing in October 2023. Set in a small town called Mamagoramachi, somewhere in Kamakura, Ochibi-zun and his friends are busy playing every day, catching cicadas in summer and baking potatoes with fallen leaves in autumn. The film depicts the nostalgic Japanese landscape and seasonal atmosphere through the eyes of Ochibi-zun. Onimusha. Onimusha is based on a Capcom game. A legendary swordsman with a soul-sucking demon weapon in his hands sets out on a journey of revenge with several samurai who are firmly bonded to each other. Will they be able to subdue the bloodthirsty monsters? The Eminence in Shadow Season 2. A boy who longed to be a man of the shadows lost his life along the way and was reborn in another world as Sid Cage now. In his new world, Sid decides to enjoy the shadowy powerhouse setting and plays the role of a shadow. Someone who lurks in the shadows and hunts the shadows, and organizes the Shadow Garden against the Order of Darkness with a group of girls under his control who he is good friends with. It was all supposed to be a figment of his imagination. The Diabolus cult, the dark side of the world, is real. And unbeknownst to Sid, the Shadow Garden is engaged in a war with the cult. The next stage is a lawless city ruled by three forces: the Blood Queen, the Fox, and the Tyrant. It is a world of the weak and the strong, infested with rogue elements. Girlfriend Season 2. The second season of the neo-standard romantic comedy. After a trip to a hot spring, Naoya and his friends decide to continue their two-timing relationship with Sake and Nagisa on equal terms, with the addition of Malika, who was the first to kiss Naoya, and Shino, who is secretly in love with Naoya. Their summer vacation takes the five of them to a fireworks display, a camp, and Okinawa. The stage for love. With the arrival of Malika's younger sister Riza, the neo-standard love comedy gets even more exciting in this summer swimsuit-soaked Season 2, where the sparks of love are flying. Kamiurabi God. Confused by the series of events, Guro is told of a cruel fate. Guro was chosen by the Great Will, and in order to make his wish come true, he must compete with other Kamisama candidates for the title of God, and kill each other until he is the last man standing. The ability given to him is the Scripture of Fools, the power to twist the cause and effect of the world and manipulate the reason of the world at will at the cost of misfortune that befalls him. The first candidate to appear as a potential Kamisama was, of course, Hanoka, whom Guro had longed for. What choice did Guro make against Hanoka, who attacked him mercilessly? Thus begins the fetish battle royal between the Kamisama candidates, all of whom have their own secrets. Ron Kamonohashi, deranged detective. Blue, the world's premier detective training school, once had a genius with exceptional talent and a promising future. Kamonohashi Ron, who was rumored to be the most gifted genius since Blue's establishment, was expelled from Blue and forbidden to be a detective because of a fatal defect as a detective after an incident during his time at the school. 5 years later. 5 years later, Ron is living a life of disappointment and boredom when Detective Ashiki Suzumaru of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department's Investigation Division comes to him asking for his cooperation in a serial murder case, and time begins to move again. Kawagoe boys sing. Singing in public is not for me. I want to sing, but I can't. I want to sing, but I can't. I want to sing, but I can't. Tenshi Ide, a former choir member, has been singing in seclusion inside the dambachi he has set up at home. Haruo Hibiki, a former orchestra conductor, suddenly appears in front of Tenshi, who is leading a safe school life. Tenshi's peaceful daily life quickly turns chaotic when she meets Haruo. Haruo is an up-and-coming conductor who was kicked out of the orchestra because of his troublesome personality. But in exchange for his reinstatement, a certain condition was imposed on him. In exchange for his reinstatement, Haruo was given a condition. He must establish a new boys' choir club at Kawago Gakuen, which is exclusively for male voices, and win the national boys' choir competition. Haruo's ego is on full display as he aggressively presses Haruo to join the boys' choir club, and Tenshi and his friends are forced to join. The new choir members are fed up with Haruo's threefold personality trait of not being mature, not being able to read the air, and not being able to stop talking out loud. But as they continue to sing under Haruo's mysterious guidance, they soon become absorbed in the choir, with high-level rival teams appearing one after another. Will the Kawago Gakuen Boys Choir Club be able to accomplish the reckless challenge of winning the competition? A passionate coming-of-age comedy with soulful choir songs. Gundam Build Metaverse. A new internet service has been created in the world of Gunpla. In the metaverse space, users can control their own avatars, interact with other users, engage in Gunpla battles, and even purchase Gunpla. Ryo Hoju, a young boy who jumped into this new world, learned Gunpla building techniques from Ertsuki's Celia in the real world, and was trained in Gunpla battle know-how by Mask Lady in the metaverse world, where he honed his skills every day. Having completed his own original Gunpla Raw Gundam, Ryo has a chance encounter in the metaverse space with the former Gunpla battle masters. A returner's magic should be special. The world of shadows, an interdimensional space that is constantly invading the world. Humanity faces the labyrinth of shadows, which is called the worst disaster of all. Together with his friends, Desire Armand confronts the last boss of the labyrinth of shadows, the dragon of destruction Boromir Napol. But the world is doomed to destruction. Just when he thought everything was over, the scene spread out before his eyes. It was the world of 13 years ago. Desire has returned to the entrance ceremony of Hebrian Academy, the best magic academy in the Empire, which is also his old school. In order to change the future of the coming destruction, he gathers his friends again and stands up to save the world. Kazuna no Allele. This is a story of girls connected by bonds. Kazuna Ai appeared like a comet in the virtual world and quickly became popular. After winning the Virtual Grid Award for 5 consecutive years, she suddenly disappeared. Many years have passed since then, and Aiden Academy, a school specializing in producing talents who will be active in the virtual world, is now in operation. Students gather there to pursue their dreams and work hard every day. I want to be a virtual artist like Ai Muraku, a girl who admires Kazuna Ai, enrolls in Aiden Academy with these thoughts in her mind. The people she will meet in the future are also spending their time at the academy with various thoughts and feelings in mind. Get ready? Kibo no Chikara, Otana Precure 23. Kibo no Chikara, Otana Pretty Cure 23, to begin airing on NHKE television on Saturday, October 7th at 18:25, centering on Somi Yumehara from Yes Pretty Cure 5 and Yes Pretty Cure 5 and Yes Pretty Cure 5 Go-Go. The new Pretty Cure series for adults will start. The 100 girlfriends who really love you. Aishiro Koitaro, who has had his heart broken 100 times in junior high school, hopes to find a girlfriend in high school. At a shrine, the god of love appears and tells him that there are 100 people he is destined to meet in high school. However, according to the god, the person who meets his or her destiny will die if he or she does not fall in love with that person and become happy. Koitaro meets his destiny one after another. What will he do? What will happen to his 100 girlfriends? Captain Tsubasa Junior Youth Edition Season 2. The National Junior High School Soccer Tournament closed with simultaneous victories by Nankatsu Junior High School and Toho Gakuen. After the tournament, The Japanese junior high school youth representatives were selected for the International Junior Youth Tournament to be held in Paris, France. In addition to Tsubasa, who vows to make a leap to the world, the strongest lineup includes Hyuga, Wakashimazu, and the overseas teams of Wakabayashi and Masaki. Meanwhile, the world's major soccer powers, which outperform Japan in terms of ability, are also making their moves. New rivals, including Germany's Schneider, France's Pierre, Argentina's Diaz, and Italy's Hernandez, also gathered in Paris to take the world's top spot. A fierce battle of dreams and pride is about to begin. The Scum Villain's self-saving system. In the world of Shusen, the characters are all crazy and arrogant, but no one is stronger than the main character in the full-length Stallion novel, Hyogo Sensimadu. Unsatisfied with the ending of the novel, which is full of demo settings and no foreshadowing, Shen Yuan chokes on a steamed bun and dies after writing some poisonous words in the book. However, he is reincarnated into the world of the novel and becomes Shen Qingshu, a scum villain who torments the main character, Luo Binhao, in order to survive and avoid the dire consequences that await him as a villain. Shen Qingshu, Shen Yuan, begins to move around while abiding by the rules of the novel reincarnation system, but Luo Bingyi's attitude changes. The Apothecary Diaries. A large country located in the center of the continent. In the back palace where the emperor's queens reside, there is a daughter. Her name is Mao Mao. She used to be a druggist in the flower district, but now she is working as a servant in the imperial palace. One day, she learns that all of the emperor's sons are short-lived. When Mao Mao hears that the two current sons are also gradually weakening due to illness, he becomes curious and begins to investigate the cause. She is convinced that there is no such thing as a curse. A beautiful eunuch, Jin Shi, makes Mao Mao the poisoner of the emperor's favorite daughter. The eunuch has no interest in human beings, but his obsession with poisons and medicines is extraordinary. A beautiful rose has thorns, a woman's garden is full of poisons, and there is no shortage of rumors and intrigues. Mao Mao is forced to deal with more and more troublesome matters by the IMUG, but she keeps on doing her job. The rare poison-loving girl runs around in the palace today. Good night, world. There was a group of 4 people called the Akabane family, who were the strongest in the online game Planet. They were a pseudo-family on the internet game. Unbeknownst to each other, they are a real family that has collapsed in the real world. The eldest son is a recluse, the second son is an honor student, the father is not respected by his children, and the mother does not care about her family. They do not know the warmth of family. They don't know that the family they have on the internet game is only a temporary warmth. They also do not know that they are each other's real family. Battles with monsters, battles between guilds, and the conspiracy over the final target, the Black Bird, unfold in the online game Planet with the Akabane family at the center. The story will take place in the real world, and with the involvement of real families. You were experienced, I was not. Our dating story. Ryoto Kashima, Lute, is a dull, brooding guy who of course hasn't had a girlfriend in 16 years. Lute's dream girl is Luna Shirakawa, the most beautiful girl in his grade. She is the most beautiful girl in her grade and has a lot of experience in love. He thought it was enough just to watch her from afar, but then to her surprise, they end up going out. A boy with 0 experience in love and a gal with experience, they live in 2 very different worlds, but their love story is a love story of pure, realistic, and exciting adolescence. Kengan Ashula. The Kengan Shiai is a proxy war between companies, in which huge profits are wagered and business is decided based on who wins or loses in a match with a hired fighter. Kazuo Yamashita, a 56-year-old unemployed businessman, meets a mysterious fighter, Jukasnake Oma, and ends up participating in the Kengan Shiai. Money, life, family. The two overcome various obstacles, win more victories, and deepen their bond. The 2 of them end up participating in the Kengan Zetsume tournament to determine the best company and pugilist in Japan. Let me check the walkthrough first. Awarded China's Excellent Online Viewing Work in 2022, in the same year, it was ranked 2nd in the original new animated series distributed on Bilibili. The most cute fantasy comedy in the other world this fall, which has been viewed more than 80 million times in total, is here. One day, Ino, a girl in her 20s who was living a life of a corporate slave, is accidentally summoned to a game world. In a different world where peace is threatened by the Demon King, she and Enya, a neat and a beautiful heroine who was also summoned, begin a great adventure to save the other world while searching for a way to return to the real world. Goblin Slayer 2. I don't save the world, I just kill goblins. In a guild in the frontier, there is a rare being who has risen to the silver rank, 3rd in the pecking order. by defeating goblins alone. The first time she became an adventurer, the party she formed was in a pinch. The one who saved them was a man called the Goblin Slayer. I'm giving the disgraced noble lady I rescued a crash course in naughtiness. The film tells the story of Alan, a misanthropic wizard who lives deep in the woods, and Charlotte, a duchess who is being hunted by her country. One day, Alan discovers Charlotte, a battered duchess, lying in the woods. Alan, the good-natured man who hates people, can't leave her alone and brings her back to his mansion. She has been treated poorly by her family and betrayed by her fiancé. So Alan takes pity on her and hires her as a maid, moving her to live at his mansion. Alan thinks that Charlotte will leave the mansion soon anyway, but something happens and he decides to teach her something naughty. The Faraway Paladin Season 2. 2 years had passed since he left the City of the Dead, and Will was now 17 years old by count. As a lord, he developed the River Port of Lights, and gradually the Beast Forest began to see people's lives and smiles again. However, the forest was found to be in a state of abnormality when flowers bloomed out of season. Will and his friends head deep into the forest to solve the problem and receive an ominous prophecy from the king of the forest. A black fire of woe will break out in the Iron Rust Mountains. The fire will spread or it will consume all the land. With new encounters, Will and his friends' adventures begin once again. Secret mission: undercover agents never lose. An undercover agent will not give in to pleasure. Matrice Rado Ririko is undercover with her junior colleague Noma in an apartment building that is the hideout of a criminal organization. The two pretend to be a newlywed couple, but the criminals suspect that there is no sound of life at night. Then Noma begins to touch Baileyko's body to make her think they are a lovey-dovey couple. "Senior, this is part of my job. Please moan," and so Baileyko goes undercover in various undercover investigations, enduring humiliation and pleasure as she throws herself into the service of justice. Crypto Ninja Sakuya. Once upon a time there was a great battle between ninja clans in this country. The four surviving clans, the Kuga, Iga, Fuma, and Zuga, kept each other in balance by possessing their own Crypto Amaka, which is said to possess immense power, Time has passed, and it is the present day. The setting is the ordinary town of Kuga City. People have forgotten the existence of the ninja. Sakuya, a Kuga ninja, wants to stand out even though she is a ninja. Together with her friends Nemu and Shorin, she spends her non-ninja days. One day, someone steals the crypto painting scroll of Fuma, and a war between the four clans breaks out once again. Sakuya, Nemu, and Shaolon are also caught up in the battle, and the three who have lived loosely in the modern age survive in this war-torn world. Shy. In the mid-21st century, the world has changed drastically as heroes with superhuman powers and a desire for peace suddenly appeared in various countries. In a world where heroes from all over the world are working to maintain the newfound peace, Japan's peace is led by Shy, a shy girl hero who is not very good at going out in public. Shangri-La Frontier. In a slightly futuristic world where games that use displays are now classified as retro games, a large number of so-called shitty games have been released that have not kept pace with the latest VR technology. In this world, a large number of so-called shitty games have been released whose contents have not caught up with the latest VR technology. One shitty game hunter, Yomu Rakuro, has devoted his passion to clearing such a large number of shitty games. His next challenge was Shangri-La Frontier, the opposite of a shitty game and a god game. With a total of 30 million players, the world is expanding, and an encounter with his nemesis will change the destiny of him and all players. The best game adventure tale by the best damn gamer. Here it comes. Record of Ragnarok Season 2. The second anime season of the popular manga serialized in monthly comic Zenin, which has sold more than 10 million copies in total. Based on the popular manga that has won numerous manga awards, including This Manga is Amazing, 2019 Inches Otoko Hen, National Bookstore Staff's Choice Recommended Comic 2019, and the second Manga Newspaper Award. The powerful worldview will be animated by Graphinica, which has depicted many fierce battles in its animation production of 12 Worlds and Hello World, and 3D CG in Mugen no Nazumi, Immortal Promia, and Girls und Panzer, among others. The 13th game of one-on-one between representatives of the gods of the world versus representatives of mankind, with the survival of the human race at stake, is about to begin once again. Blood gushes and flesh dances. Here is a passionate battle in which both sides have held fast to their beliefs. 16-bit sensation Another Layer. Konoha Akizato is an illustrator who loves Bashoujo and Bashoujo games. She dreams of becoming a super popular illustrator and struggles to make it in a Bashoujo game production company, but the reality does not go well. The company is leaning toward the present day, when shadow games are in their heyday, and Konoha spends her days as a sub-illustrator painting the backs of mob characters. One day, by chance, she receives a copy of a classic Bashoujo game from the past from the owner of a game store. Thinking back to the golden age of Bashoujo games, Konoha opens the package of Classmate and is suddenly enveloped in a dazzling light, and she finds herself time leaping into the past. Konoha finds herself in the year 1992, at the dawn of Bashoujo games. It is the dawn of the Bashoujo game era. Konoha is now working for a company called Alcor Soft, but will she be able to think of Bashoujo, draw Bashoujo, and create Bashoujo? This is the story of a girl with an overwhelming love for Bashoujo. Attack on Titan, the final season. Eren activates Chichinari in an attempt to destroy the world. Countless Titans begin their march, trampling down everything in their path. Mikasa, Armin, Jean, Connie, Hanji, Reiner, Annie, Peak, and the mortally wounded Levi. The remaining ones challenge the final battle to stop Eren. Spy Family Season 2. Everyone has a part of themselves that no one else can see. The East, Ostania, and the West, Westeros, had been in a cold war for over a decade. Twilight, a highly skilled spy belonging to WISE, the West's intelligence bureau, is assigned a top-secret mission to find out the movements of Donovan Desmond, the president of the East's National Unity Party, a dangerous figure who threatens the peace between East and West. The name of the mission is Operation Strix. The mission is to create a family within a week and infiltrate a social gathering at a prestigious school that Desmond's son attends. The Twilight team decided to take on the role of Lloyd Forger, a psychiatrist, and create a family. But when he meets his daughter Anya, a psychic who can read minds, and his wife Yal, an assassin, he discovers that the three have a common interest. The interests of the three match, and they end up living together while hiding their true identities from each other. World peace is entrusted to this happening family. The Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy. Leonis, the most powerful Demon King, sealed off his own existence in preparation for the coming battle. But when he awoke after 1,000 years, he had reverted to the form of a 10-year-old boy. Why were you trapped here? It's all right now. Leonis was protected by Lysaria, a beautiful Bashoujo belonging to the Psychen Academy, and was shocked to find a world that had changed, the unknown enemy, Void, the 77th Tactical City, and a strange power that takes the form of a weapon, the Holy Sword. Confused by these unfamiliar words, he enrolls himself in the less-than-sacred Sword Academy Greater Than. In a future world where magic has been lost, the strongest Demon King and beautiful Bashoujo girls weave together a school sword fantasy of holy swords and magic swords. The Saint's magic power is omnipotent Season 2. One day, Sei, a 20-something office worker, is suddenly summoned to another world as a saint. She begins working at a medicinal plant research institute, taking advantage of her original love of plants. But her workaholic earnestness is combined with her saint power, and she creates potions one after another that are 50% more effective. She also invokes purification magic with tremendous power when she defeats demons, and her reputation goes through the roof. She is officially recognized as a saint and gains the respect of the people as the savior of the kingdom of Solantania. She is watched over and supported by Johann and Jude from the Research Institute, Yuri from the Court Mage Corps, and Albert, the Knight of Ice, who is attracted to her but is still not yet her boyfriend. Even after becoming the most important person in the kingdom, Sei is still busy with his research, but his relationship with Alberto gradually deepens, and his love life takes a new turn. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. With the heroic Himmel and his friends, the wizard Freeland defeated the Demon King and brought peace to the world after 10 years of adventures. An elf who has lived for more than 1,000 years, she promises to reunite with Himmel and the others and sets off on a journey by herself. 50 years later, Freeland visits Himmel, who is still the same as she was 50 years ago. But Himmel has aged and has little time left to live. She regrets this and sets out on a journey to get to know people. On her journey, she encounters various people and various events await her. The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 3. Naofumi Iwatani, a brave man with a shield who defeated the four sacred beasts, Regame, defeated Kyo, the cause of the resurrection of Regame, in another world, and return to Merlomark. He is preparing for the battle against the new Phoenix, the new holy beast that is about to be resurrected. But the three heroes who blundered in the Regame disturbance are missing, and the territory that Naofumi owns is also in a situation where there is uncertainty about its strength. Naofumi, who wanted to recover the scattered residents of the old Rurarona village in preparation for the coming battle, visited Zeltobel, where the residents were sold into slavery, and participated in an underground gambling arena with Raftalia and Firo as a foothold for rescue. The subhumans who seek salvation, the three heroes who are brokenhearted, and mine, aka Vici, who is active in the dark. With their respective agendas intersecting, will Naofumi be able to pursue the path he believes in? Chick-Up Dancer Season 3. The Hone Chicken is a little chicken, timid but full of curiosity, and the Skip Toad is a dancing teacher who skips around. The unique characters such as Mr. Skip Frog, a dancing teacher who approaches you while skipping, play an active role in dancing. The characters can be used at home and in various other places to make their bodies move and their hearts dance. Tearmoon Empire. There's a neck, I'm so young. Mia, a 20-year-old princess scorned as a selfish princess in the Great Tearmoon Empire, was executed on the decapitation table by the People's Revolution. When she wakes up, she is transported back in time to when she was 12 years old. It seems that she is in a world of redemption, and on her bedside table is a blood-stained diary that she had written before her execution. Mia has begun her second life and has decided to rebuild the Empire. For the future of the Empire, to save the people from famine, for the many soldiers who die in the Civil War. Not all to avert the fate of the guillotine. This is so much easier for me. The petty, self-protective, self-centered, and strongest clunker of a princess struggles mightily for her own sake. The selfish princess's actions will cause unexpected miracles, and a fantasy of history alteration begins. Dekoboko Majo no Ayako Jijo. One day, Alyssa, a witch living alone in the forest, picks up a human baby. Alyssa is puzzled, but decides to name the baby Viola and raise it. 16 years later, Viola has grown up far beyond Alyssa's imagination. Here comes the bumpy slapstick comedy of a parent and child whose appearances are reversed. Dead Mount Death Play Season 2. A different world from this one. A battle of life and death between a soldier of many battles, the Disaster Crusher, and a rare mortal, the Temple of the Corpse, was decided. And then the stage is set in Shinjuku. The shocking noir fantasy of reincarnation in another world begins. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, Coleus Dream. Rimuru spends his remaining days as a teacher in the kingdom of Ingrasha saving children. One day, he hears a request from Yuki, Grand Master of the Free Association. The request was for Rimuru to find out the inside story of the struggle for the throne in the kingdom of Corius, which is sandwiched between the kingdom of Ingrasha and the holy kingdom of Rubelius. Rimuru, under the name of Satoru, begins an undercover investigation into the kingdom of Corius. However, the situation is not only a struggle for the succession to the throne of a single country, but also the intertwining of the thoughts of demons and vampires, and the situation becomes extremely confusing. A playthrough of a certain dude's VR MMO life. Tanaka Daichi, an ordinary game-loving office worker, logs into the world of One More Free Life Online, a new type of VR MMO that boasts a high level of freedom. In a world where he can either go all out to exterminate monsters or just explore at his leisure, he chooses to play a low-key game in which he masters skills that are reputed to be useless, making potions that take a lot of time and effort, developing delicious dishes for nothing, and sometimes enjoying monster hunting with homemade demo weapons. The dull old man is going his own way today in a VR MMO fantasy. Tokyo Revengers Tenjiku, and suddenly awakened by his time leap ability, Udo Takemichi Hanagaki returns 12 years in the past and has saved Tokyo Manjikai from crises that occurred in the past. When he returns to the present after his battle with Barihara, he finds that he has become the top executive of Tokyo Manjikai. However, his joy is short-lived, as the modern Tokyo Manjikai is still ruled by the root of all evil, Tetsuda Rarezaki, and the situation has not been resolved at all. In order to save Hanada Tachibana, the only love of his life, and to change the person he has been running away from, his life's revenge is not over. Dr. Stone New World. Thousands of years after all mankind was petrified in an instant by a mysterious phenomenon, Senku, a boy with a superhuman brain and a deep-rooted science background, awakens. Facing the stone world, a world of stones where civilization has been destroyed, Senku decides to reclaim the world with the power of science. He gathers new friends and creates the Kingdom of Science. However, the martial empire led by Tsukasa Shishio, the strongest high school student among primates, stands in his way. Tsukasa aims to purify the human race and tries to stop the development of science with his mighty military power. After a fierce battle of science versus force, Chisora and his scientific kingdom prevails, and the two countries finally reconcile. Tsukasa, who is in a state of cold sleep due to the rebellion of his friends, and the Kingdom of Science set out for the new world on the other side of the earth, the source of the petrifying ray, in order to revive all mankind, out into the world to unravel the mysteries of petrification. The stone world of the stone world, the age of discovery finally begins. The Ministry. Transformers Earthspark. 15 years have passed since the war between the righteous Autobots and the evil Decepticons ended. The Marto family, Robbie and Mo, moved to the small town of Witwicky, Pennsylvania, where they accidentally enter a cave that gives birth to a new Earthborn Transformer called Terran. Meanwhile, Optimus, sensing a new enemy approaching the town of Witwicky, visits Robbie and Mo's mother, Dot, with whom he once fought in a war, and asks for her help. Who is this new enemy that is after the Transformers? To protect their family and the Transformers, everyone must stand together against the enemy. The Seven Deadly Sins, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse. Percival is a kind boy who lives with his grandfather in a remote area called the Finger of God. However, the world does not allow him to live in peace. An encounter with a mysterious knight, Ilonsid, changes their destiny and reveals an astonishing secret. The boy embarks on an endless journey. Whether you know the 7 deadly sins or not, you will enjoy it, the world's long-awaited and painful adventure fantasy. The Kingdoms of Ruin. Witches are the beings that brought wisdom and peace to mankind. However, the Gear expansion of the Lydian Empire has created a scientific civilization that surpasses magic, and witches are regarded as enemies who hinder progress. Thus began the witch hunt. Adonis, a human raised by the witch Chloe, is deprived of his beloved teacher and vows to take revenge on his people, the human race. What kind of salvation will Shura, fed by despair, find at the end of the carnage? The near future. A new movement called Phantom Live is born out of the saturated hip-hop culture. Artists created illusions linked to emotions by chemically reacting their own DNA with phantom metal, an accessory containing metal, and enthralled young people with their spectacular stage performances. Bay, the Cat's Whiskers, Cosmos, and Bad Guys, who are at the top of their respective music genres in terms of popularity, were invited to participate in the mysterious Paradox Live competition to be held at the legendary club Paradox Club. They receive invitations to participate in the mysterious Paradox Live tournament to be held at the legendary club Paradox. The 4 teams decide to participate in the battle for various reasons, but behind the scenes of Paradox Live, there is a huge, unimaginable plot hidden behind the scenes. The curtain now opens on a fantastic stage battle of light and darkness. All Saints Street. Neil, a kind-hearted demon, dreams of living in the human world, and his best friend Ira, a vampire, invites him to All Saints Town. The life together with the roommates, who are all peculiar, is not all that easy. But in fact, Neil has the power of the Demon King sleeping in him. Werewolves and his brother's demons also come to the human world to seek his power. Will Neil really be able to spend his daily life in the human world? This is just a story of ordinary daily life. Baki Hanma Season 2. A human man was dug up from the rock salt in the stratum of the age of dinosaurs. The man is named Pickle and is revived to the present day by the power of the latest science and technology. He is a warrior with a different level of fighting ability, who has fought dinosaurs with his bare hands and used them as food, and his existence makes him an easy target for those who aim to become the strongest, especially for the warriors in the underground arena. Will Baki be able to defeat Pickle and reach the decisive battle with his father, Yujiro Hanma, that awaits him ahead? Behold, this is the battle to determine the strongest creature in history. B Project Season 3. After the Idol unit B Project's second successful Japan Dome Live, the major record company in the industry, Gandhara Music, is undergoing a period of change. The synergy created by the encounter between B Project and Ultras will now produce a stimulating and passionate love call that will echo through the air. The Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess. Tara Kamari Gansblad is the daughter of the Gansblad family, a prestigious noble family in the Mernite Empire. Although she is a vampire, Kamari cannot drink blood. Suffering from the triple handicap of being unable to use magic, unable to exercise, and unable to grow tall, she has been living as a recluse for 3 years. One day, however, her father, a parental idiot, finds her an extraordinary job. The name is 7 Red Heavenly Generals. It is a very hard position that only the fiercest men in the Empire can hold, and it requires them to wage war against other countries and win every 3 months. Furthermore, his subordinates are all former criminals, and they are all ready to take on Kamari, who has been appointed as general. He wants to refuse, but since he was appointed by the Emperor, he is not even allowed to quit. If his true ability is revealed, he will be immediately destroyed. Even so, Kamari carries out her mission with bluff and cuteness. What I am about to do is the simplest and most heinous of tasks. I am going to kill all the generals of the other 5 countries by force and spread the prestige of the Reignite nation to the entire world. The most powerful, the Vampire Princess's historic march begins here. Bikuri Men. For those who love Bikurimen stickers, the value of the stickers is absolute. They are transported as carefully as cash trucks. A year ago, there was a theft incident known as the 300 million Bikurimen seals incident. One day, Yamato, a high school student working part-time as a delivery boy, gets caught up in a battle over the stickers. The Angel Mart convenience store, run by Phoenix, is famous for its easy-to-get stickers, and not only Bikurimen fans, but also those based at the Devil Store convenience store across the street are after the stickers. Former comrades divided into friend and foe. The battle of destiny begins now. Phoenix, Eden 17. It is a time when humans are migrating to other planets than Earth. The main character Romy and her boyfriend George arrive on the planet Eden 17 to start a new life together. However, it is a desolate planet with nothing but dirt and rocks. While desperately searching for a source of water and cultivating the fields, Romy becomes pregnant. George is overjoyed, but an accident caused by a great earthquake brings him back to his planet. Fearing that her beloved son Cain, who is also George's last child, will be left alone in the future, Romy promises Cain that he will wake up in 13 years and goes into a cold sleep herself. However, the system malfunctions and Romy awakens in Eden 17, 1300 years later. Hypnosis Mike, Division Rap Battle Rhyme Anima Plus. Age history. Armed war has been eradicated. Conflict has been replaced not by military force, but by a special microphone that interferes with the human psyche. It is called Hypnosis Mike. The lyric through this microphone affects the sympathetic nerves, parasympathetic nerves, etc. of people and can put them in various states. He has 3 years of age experience. A division rap battle is now held, in which MC groups representing each division battle it out, and the winning district wins a determined amount of other territories. In the second division rap battle, the first finalists, Buster Bros, Mad Trigger Crew, Fling Posse, and Modern RO, as well as Daughter Tare Hanpo and Badass Temple, advanced to the final tournament where the winner was decided. The time was right after the end of the second division rap battle. A new battle begins as the men who carry the division on their backs take on the challenge. Budariba, the story of a man turned into a pig. The 26th Dengeki Novel Award Open Double Angle Bracket Gold Prize Closed Double Angle Bracket winning work, adapted into a boo-heat anime. I, a dull otaku, lost consciousness after eating raw pork liver. I thought I was reborn in another world, but I turned out to be just a pig. As I roll around in the mud in the pigsty, Jess, a beautiful girl who is as kind as an angel, rescues me. Hungoa, you don't have to force yourself to speak. I'm a pig, and I'm devoted to taking care of me, and she says she's a Yezma, a race that can read people's minds. The most important thing to remember is that you can't just go out and buy a new pair of shoes. In the world of swords and magic, Mystalia, a love-making fantasy between a simple pig and a beautiful girl who can read minds begins now. Pluto. Can the chain of hatred be broken? We live in an age of symbiosis between humans and robots. A series of powerful robots are destroyed one after another. Europol detective robot Gesite, who is in charge of the investigation, is convinced that the perpetrators are targeting 7 of the world's most advanced robots, including himself, who can be used as weapons of mass destruction. At the same time, a series of murders occur in which key figures involved in robot law are killed one after another. Less than Gahito, pursuing the mystery of the 2 murders, visits one of the targets, Adam, a robot with the world's highest level of artificial intelligence. He says, "When I look at you, my system to identify whether you are a human or a robot almost malfunctions." Meeting Adam, who expresses his emotions as if he were a real human being, Gahito begins to change. The 2 pursue the case and arrive at the worst existence of hatred in history, which leads the world to ruin. Bullbuster. A young engineer, Tetsuro Okino, is transferred to a vermin extermination company, Habuto Kogyo, with a new robot he developed himself. The Bullbuster, the company headed by Tajima, is confronted by a mysterious creature named Giant Beast. Furthermore, being a small company that is always short of money, Habuto is always faced with economic problems. The cost of fuel for the robots, labor for the pilots, and of course, even wasting a single bullet is unacceptable. Between the ideal of killing giant beasts and the reality of cost, will there be a future for Habuto? Beyblade X. Kazami Bird, aiming to become a professional, meets former champion Kurosu X Masked X and form a team. They aim for the top of the X Tower, however, what awaits them is an epic battle that no one has ever seen. But what awaits them is a fierce battle that no one has ever seen before. What they have not seen yet, and what they cannot see, X. The most accelerated, extreme Beyblade running through a new era. Toilet-bound Hanako-kun. After schoolboy Hanako-kun, hey, do you know about this strange rumor about the 7 wonders of this school? Strange rumors about the 7 wonders of this school. It is said that there is a Hanako-san of the toilet in the 3rd women's restroom on the 3rd floor of the old school building, who grants wishes in exchange for important things. The 7 wonders of Kamome Gakuen, Hanako-kun of the toilet, and the occult girl Yahiro Nene, who became his assistant. How do they spend their peaceful days at this school, where all the strange incidents occur? This is a loose after-school moment that is not depicted in the main story. My daughter left the nest and returned an S-rank adventurer. Belgriff, who is living the life of an adventurer in the countryside of his hometown, raises his beloved daughter Angeline, whom he found in the woods, and sends her off to the capital. He receives news of her return, but she has not come home, and his concern grows every day. Meanwhile, Angeline, who has become the guild's highest S-rank adventurer, tries to return to her beloved father. When in the world will I ever meet my father? A heartwarming, otherworldly fantasy that vividly depicts parent-child interaction and friendship, as well as powerful battle scenes, is here. Berserk of Gluttony. In a world where skill is absolute, Fate, a boy despised for his incompetence, was forced to live at the bottom of the pile. This is because the skill Fate possesses, binge eating, is a completely useless ability that only makes him hungry. The Brelic family, the highest-ranking family of holy knights in the world, has their eyes on him, and he is subjected to violence and forced to do chores every day. The only relief is Roxy Hart, who treats Fate without looking down on her, even though she is also a holy knight. However, the world changes forever when he and Roxy accidentally kill a bandit who has entered the castle. The moment she took the enemy's life, her binge-eating skill was triggered, and her opponent's power flowed into her. Yes, Fate's skill, binge eating, is an extraordinary skill that allows her to take away the skills and abilities of the person she kills. Fate, who has gained the power to fight, meets Greed, a sword with a will that also bears the name of a deadly sin, and enters a world of further struggles. In order to protect his loved ones and fight against the unreasonable world, Fate devours the enemies that stand in his way. In this way, the destiny of the boy who had only crawled on the ground begins to move rapidly. I shall survive using potions. One day, 22-year-old office worker Kaoru Nagase is suddenly reincarnated in another world. In order to survive in her new world, Kaoru was given a rejuvenated body by a godlike being and the ability to create super cheat potions. Kaoru, a girl reincarnated in another world, will survive with her wisdom and cheats. Protocol Rain. Shun Tokunoya is a high school sophomore who lives with his mother and younger sister. After his father's death in an accident and his sister's injury, he quit his passion for video games and now works at the esports cafe, Fox One. He is now working at the esports cafe, Fox One. He spends all his time studying and working part-time while hanging out with his childhood gaming friends, but suddenly he discovers that Fox One is in huge debt. In order to pay off the debt, Shun and his friends aim to win the X-Syrian Championship and win the prize money. With a sense of guilt, Shun plunges back into the world of online games, only to be met by Bakuretsu-kun, a man he used to play with in the past. Shun is troubled at times, but he continues to move forward with his friends. Their world begins to move through the game. A boy and his family. The story of a boy, his family, and his friends. Hoshikuzu Telepath. In Stardust Telepath, a 4-frame manga by Rasko Akuma, serialized in Manga Time Karara, Hubunsha, a high school girl, Yumika Konohoshi, who is not good at communicating with other people, meets a self-proclaimed alien, Uekeutai, and promises to go to space, and they make a promise to go to outer space. She meets Haruno Takaragi, the vice-class president, and Shun Raymond, who has been truant from school, and they decide to build a rocket. This is a coming-of-age rocket story in which high school girls build rockets and aim for space. Matsu Inu. Special requests for special dogs. I don't do anything special, but I always behave in a special way. Special for special things I don't do. But I always behave in a special way. Special for special things I don't do. But I always behave in a special way. Special for special things I don't do. But I always behave in a special way. Special for special things I don't do. But I always behave in a special way. Special for special things I don't do. The Ancient Magus Bride Season 2. The Mahousukai's Bride Season 2 second cool not everything. But Chise was able to accept Elias and herself. After Cardophilus has gone to sleep for a moment and she has regained her normal life, she receives an invitation to join the Institute, a mutual aid organization for magicians, in the basement of the British Library. A different society of magicians. Encounters and interactions with people open new doors. This is a story about saving me, you. Miji and Dolly. Miji and Dolly. February 1990, Oregon Village, Kita-ku, Kobe. One day, twin boys, Miji and Dolly, who had been living in an orphanage, were adopted by a wealthy and peaceful elderly couple, Mr. and Mrs. Sonoyama. However, they are not adopted as two boys, Miji and Dolly, but as one boy, Hattori Sonoyama. The two hide their true identities and blend in with the village of Oregon, playing the role of the Sonoyama secret birds. What was the purpose of the two playing the role of one person? There was a big secret and a terrible purpose. Firefighter, Daigo of Fire Company M. Daigo of Megumi, Orange for the Kingdom of Salvation. Three people destined to one day save Japan, a story of the growth of a young firefighter's soul. Daigo Juju is a firefighter with outstanding talent and an unshakable determination. Shun Exida struggles to overcome his own obstacles. Yuki Nakamura aims to become one of the few female members of the Special Rescue Team. When these three firefighters who aspire to join the Special Rescue Team, aka Orange, meet, the story of a nation saved begins to unfold. What they are up against is a national crisis, a crisis in Japan. Yazuki Sanchi no Yankyodai. The four brothers of the Yazuki family. The four Yazuki brothers lost their parents 2 years ago. Hayato, the eldest son, is the mainstay of the family and a hard worker. Makoto, the second son, is cool and is called Shaka. But he loves Minato and accepts everything as cute because he is his brother. Minato, the third son, is energetic and loves his brothers but is clumsy and tends to run around. The story depicts the daily lives at home, at school, and in the neighborhood of the four brothers. The second son, Makoto, who loves Minato and tolerates everything as cute. The third son, Minato, who is energetic and brotherly but tends to run in circles and is awkward. Ragna Crimson. Ragna Crimson. A hunter-dragoner wields a silver sword, hunts dragons, and is rewarded for his work. Ragna, a boy who is a poor hunter-dragoner, teams up with Leonica, a girl genius who boasts of killing more dragons than anyone else and challenges them to kill dragons every day. Ragna has only one wish. I don't care if I can't be strong. I want to stay by Leo's side. However, this wish is fleetingly dashed by an attack from a superior dragon that is incomparably stronger than any of his previous opponents. Facing this powerful enemy, Ragna's mind wanders to the nightmare that has haunted him for the past few days, the image of himself walking into a future of despair and loneliness with nothing to protect, even though he has the strongest power. What does your future self tell you about? What path should my present self choose? Ragna, together with his mysterious new partner Crimson, takes the first step toward averting a future of despair. The challenge is to become an absolute strongman. Resisting is a forced destiny, to the limit and beyond. A super stoic, otherworldly extreme battle. Rail Romanesque Season 2. Rail Romanesque 2. Railroads, the puppet modules that play a central role in rail transportation. Railroads that were on the verge of being destroyed by the new transportation system have been gradually restored through the promotion of tourism and the development of goods, etc. Railroads will gather at the second Railroad Summit to further promote the restoration of the railroads. The theme of this year's summit was to convey the charm of the one-night market through sound. The Railroad members will go on a field recording adventure in search of the sounds they want to record. I'm in love with the villainous. I'm in love with the villainous. Zero Ohashi, a company employee, is reborn as Ray Taylor, the heroine of the Otome game Revolution that she played in her previous life, and begins her life in a different world. She is set in the world of a dreamlike Otome game where she is set in a royal academy and has to conquer good-looking princes. However, her favorite is the villainous Claire Francois. I love you, Claire-sama. Claire's selfishness and harassment are rather a reward for her. can Rei, who played games in her previous life, use her knowledge and love to get close to Claire? Thank you for watching the video until the end. JapanAnimeHub will continue to provide you with the latest anime information from Japan. Please subscribe to our channel. See you soon.